I had the idea to create an interdisciplinary international journal, and in 1990, thanks to Gary Kiel-Hoffner, a journal, I think I'm going to plug Gary, and in 1990, Work, a journal of prevention, assessment, and rehabilitation, was begun. Work has advanced evidence-based literature on a range of topics, from children and youth to workplace violence. It provides readers with knowledge to inform the evidence base and conceptual information that can promote theory to practice. It also has provided a platform to promote occupational therapy. It's published 12 issues a year. It's indexed widely and has a modest but respectable impact factor. It's endorsed by the International Ergonomic Association and was a member benefit for the Canadian Association of Occupational Therapists. And Marion Lilly, who is my editor, flew in from the Netherlands, and she told me today that within the last 3 months, Work has been viewed by 50,000 people. That's amazing. To celebrate Work's 20th anniversary, we identified new priorities for the journal, one of which was to enhance knowledge transfer mediums. We added 2 columns to reach this goal. I'm going to focus on one of them. It's edited by occupational therapist, scientist, researcher, and associate professor, Dr. Lynn Shaw. Lynn is from the University of Western Ontario in Canada. There goes my granddaughter. One of my granddaughters. The other granddaughter is being so good. Thank you, Sophie. This column is designed to provide readers with knowledge for using and enhancing knowledge brokering and networking in work-related practice, in education, in research, in the community, and in the workplace. The column is associated with a KT Pay It Forward communique, which are one-page pullouts designed to be copied and shared with others. The purpose of this type of document is to support the wide dissemination of information from research or policy so as to ensure that knowledge is put in the hands of end users. Work's interprofessional team of editorial board members, along with its assistant to the editor, Victoria Hall, are to be congratulated for helping this journal be a success. And all of the Work board members who are here, please stand up. And Vicki and Marion, please stand up. There's a lot in the audience. Come on, stand up. Thank you so much. Children's literature can be a powerful tool for promoting OT because we can use images and words that teach children and their families about occupational therapy through engaging stories. The Canadian Association of Occupational Therapists created such a book, and it's called You, Me, and My OT. It has sold 4,000 copies in English and French, and if you haven't seen it, you need to get it. It's fantastic. With easy access to technology that makes self-publishing possible, I worked with Leah Miller, an instructional designer, and Elizabeth Lewis, who is a bank teller at a bank in Boston, to prepare a children's book as part of this participatory action learning for the slagle. We created a children's book called How Full is Sophia's Backpack, with the intention of promoting OT through an engaging story about a grandma and her 2 grandchildren, one of which has autism and receives OT. Next, I worked with a computer science professor and one of his students to place this book in electronic format. Their involvement in this book, in this electronic format, made them better understand OT. So we have 2 more professions understanding it. So you're getting to see the electronic version. This is free to all of you. You can download this starting June 1st on our website. You can get a copy now. TheraPro has it at their booth. but more importantly, we are donating to Autism Speaks for every one of the books sold. I teamed up with 5 other occupational therapists from around the world to form OT for OT. It's an initiative aimed at advancing our profession's knowledge and skills in the use of online technology. OT for OT hosted 2 24-hour virtual exchanges in 2010 and 2001 to celebrate and promote World OT Day. These initiatives included 50 presenters such as Kit Sinclair from Hong Kong discussing disaster response and recovery among 48 one-hour presentations. Over 1,000 participants from 31 countries were part of that in 2010 and even a larger number in 2011. I'm happy to let you know that we'll have another one in 2012 during World OT Day to celebrate WFOT's 60th anniversary. Where are you? I've shared some examples of how people are promoting occupational therapy through words, images, and actions. I've got one more section. Don't go, please. I want to shift now to how we can use social media and social marketing to promote the profession. In today's cultural and business climate, marketing efforts are increasingly focused on social marketing and the use of social media outlets. Social marketing takes the techniques of marketing and employs them in order to create a positive social change. Although the concept of social marketing predates the internet, it actually was used in 1971. The internet has given a decided advantage to those who wish to spread a message to a wide audience. As mentioned previously, the AOTA National Backpack Awareness Day campaign is a good example of social marketing. Rebuilding Together and Carpet are other examples. Social media, or what some may refer to as social networking, are a group of internet-based applications that build on the ideology and technology foundations of Web 2.0. and allows the creation and exchange of user-generated content. In lay terms, it's a revolutionary shift heralded by the advent of social media, that we can deliver information, again, to masses that's not limited to a traditional gatekeeper, such as news media. Any person, as we know, can access the internet and create content and share it widely. Some examples of social media, which I've mentioned already, are collaborative projects like Wikipedia, and occupational therapy is on Wikipedia, blogs, microblogs like Twitter, content communities like YouTube, social networking sites like Facebook and LinkedIn, virtual game worlds like World of Warcraft, and virtual social worlds like Second Life. Social media creates a whole new world where groups of people connect and interact in a virtual space, any place, anytime. How many of you have been using social media while sitting here? Raise your hands. And my phone is shut off, and I would be using it if I wasn't busy. Facebook is the most widely used social media site. And when I finished the speech 6 weeks ago, the number was that there was 845 million active users. I would guess, if you Google that now, it's probably larger. LinkedIn, with 150 million members, and considered the more professional of social media sites, has been used to develop professional connections, find jobs, and to share information. Twitter, as we know, is real-time information network, made up of 140 characters, which we call what? Tweet, come on, louder. Tweets. Currently, Twitter has over 2 million registered users. I bet that number is even larger now. This is 6 weeks ago. Globally, YouTube has over, listen to this number, it's amazing, 3 billion video views per week.
Holy
and is
crap.
the second largest search engine following Google. Clifton and Mann found that YouTube videos increased engagement, critical awareness, and a deep learning amongst student nurses. And I would guess if we did a similar study, we might find that with our students. Social media is considered a hybrid promotion tool, and it's a highly magnified word of mouth. Customers are turning more frequently to social media outlets to conduct information searches that aid in healthcare or purchasing decisions. How many of you went on social media before you saw a doctor or bought a car or anything else? Raise your hands. Absolutely. And my father goes on again. I'm sorry, Dad. I always say that to you, but my father loves being on the internet. That's not to say that all sources are equally impactful or accurate. Sealants and colleagues found that people prefer information sites that were run by reputable organizations or had a medical or expert feel. They trusted the information, especially when the credentials of the site and its authors were made explicit. They also appreciated, and this is really important for us, familiar, plain language rather than technical language. And they also liked personal content, stories from clients like themselves. It really speaks to how we need to communicate. According to Vogue, and I quote, social media is perceived by consumers as a more trustworthy source of information regarding products and services than corporate-sponsored communication transmitted through traditional elements. So how can we use this to promote occupational therapy? We're almost there. I used a modified participatory action approach to prepare this slagle. I conducted and analyzed information to better understand how to promote OT. My participatory action learning used an evolving methodology based on review of the evidence literature, diagrams, drawn on everything, hands-on learning, and a participatory process of communicating with key audiences such as thought leaders with and without the profession, with and outside the profession, OT practitioners and students, historians, and content experts. And in a genuine OT strategy, I took a class in making clay pots to stay centered.